Hey guys, JawsTheSharkNews here, and today we're going to be doing yet another news video. Now, I do apologize, it's been like over 4 months now since I last did one, but, there's been big chunks of news lately. I mean, the biggest thing in the time since I last did one was, of course, the Rise of the Beast teaser, but even then, probably due to the copyright, I couldn't, show it off and stuff, and yeah, but, I mean, I probably could do a reaction, but there's probably some things I'd have to, edit so that way I don't get copyright strikes or something. But yeah, and besides that, there were Studio Series Rise of the Beast figure reveals, but those were like kind of weekly things, and I prefer to just show explain the news off in like one article and video. So yeah, anyways, so yeah, so anyway, yesterday for today's news, of course, but yesterday there was a Transformers fan stream on Hasbro Pulse. And so, yeah, we got the first looks at Legacy Evolution Wave 2 figures. And yeah, so pretty. I mean, some of these figures were already leaks, but some weren't, so that's pretty cool. So yeah, now let's take a look at all of them. So starting off, we got Core Class Core Class Grimlock, and yeah, he's all right. I mean, for a Core Class, he does look decent. Like the Core Class figures do look good, but like the Dinobot ones, they've been kind of Like I'm not gonna fully complain them because again they're only $10, but there's they probably could do them better, but I can understand why because these figures have like the combination gimmick for Volcanicus, so that's like the one main reason why I guess also because I do want to expand on my Core Class figures, but also it's cool to have that Volcanicus combination thing. But yeah, yeah, pretty looks pretty fine. I mean, he's definitely looks better than Sludge, but he looks probably about the same as Slug or Slag. So yeah, but anyways, next up we got Core Class Thundercracker. I really do like the look of this guy, and yeah, and he's got the null rays, so like Starscream, but unfortunately this leaves Skywarp out in the desert because he doesn't have the null rays. He just has that weird red fork thing, wherever that is. I don't know, but yeah, really nice. Next up, we got Nemesis Prime. This is definitely my favorite of the three Core Class figures that they revealed. And he is, of course, a redeco of Optimus Prime, which, definitely one of my favorite Core Class figures that we've gotten. I think it was like one of the first, yeah, because that was back in Kingdom. So, yeah, now we got Nemesis Prime, but this time he's got the axe, so I do like how they use like the holes on the sides of the hands, like they took advantage of that, and then they put the axe in. Would be cool if we got one for Optimus. So yeah, then next up we got Shrapnel, and I'm glad that they finally revealed another one of these Insecticons because the last one that they revealed was Kickback, and that was like the first wave of the original Year 1 Legacy line, and this is now Wave 2 of Legacy Evolution. So it's been quite some time now, but nonetheless, he looks really good, just as good as Kickback, and definitely an improvement over what we got in the Prime Wars trilogy. And yeah, and then the alt mode, again, really nice, really good. And yeah, and then there's the packaging a bit. And then there he is. He's just chilling out in that packaging. He's just kind of staring at something. But yeah. And then next up, this is probably one of the most interesting ones. This is Animated Universe Prowl. And I gotta say, this actually looks really good. Now, of course, I understand the criticism for him, like, not being totally accurate to the cartoon. Because, with the Prime ones, that's, like, the one thing with those, like, that people are like, because they're, they don't really resemble totally their designs from the cartoon. Especially, like, the one that probably resembled the most, probably RCB, even then, yeah. And while I will say that of the three that we've gotten so well, there's another one that they revealed that we'll get into in a bit. You guys probably already know what it is. But of the three that are out, my favorite would have to be I'm not sure my favorite. Probably either Knockout or Bulkhead. I'm not sure, but honestly, I think Bulkhead and Knockout are good, but they're good figures, but it'd be nice to get more accurate ones. RC's okay, but yeah. But anyways, as I digress, but let's get back into this. So, yeah, so it appears they're doing the same kind of G1ifying thing, but with animated. But at least with anime, it's not as noticeable because those designs were kind of more resemble well, not Prowl, but like they're more cartoony. That's what I'm trying to say. So so if they G1 then really all they're doing is because of the weird kind of strange designs that the anime characters had. Where they had like the curved legs, big chins, and they look pretty lanky and stuff. I think all they're doing here is they're just kind of minimizing those proportions, making them look more realistic. But it still kind of looks like it kind of would come out in the animated line, so that's nice. Even the hands look like something. Yeah, the hands really do look like something from the original animated toy line. So yeah, it doesn't really bother me. This is actually probably one of the few figures I'm like really really excited to get because he looks pretty nice. And then I like the gold paint and everything. Yeah, I'm just looking forward to this one. I can't wait to see what they do with the rest of the anime ones. Watch, they look pretty bad. But next up, we got Crosscut, a redeco of Skids. Might get them, I'm not sure, but I do like the head sculpt. But yeah, it seems like they're kind of milking that Skids mold now because it's like, well, this is the third use of the main mold, but then there's also Crankcase, which is a heavy retool. So yeah, so Hasbro's doing a side swipe on us. Yeah. And next up, this is Junkion. I'm trying to look below. This is one of the Junkion. Wait, the packaging might say what the name of this character is. It's a Junkion. It's one of the kind of Junkions that they're. Oh, Crash Bar. That's it. Yeah, it's one of those like I'm not sure they might either have been in the A6 movie as background Junkions or they just create new ones. I think they create new ones specifically for this Legacy line, and then they got like a gimmick sort of. Yeah, they look kind of cool. Belt mode looks a little lacking in paint, but I do like the robot mode. Yeah, that robot mode looks nice. So yeah, and next up we got Metal Hawk, and wow, like I didn't realize like when I heard that they're doing Metal Hawk, I didn't even know that it was gonna be like a retool of the Kingdom Cyclonus, but it turns out it was. But even then, it appears they did a lot to that mold because I really like that mold of Cyclonus, so but like even in general, that was a good mold. So it's cool to see that they're using it again. But this time it's Metal Hawk. I believe he was one of the Pretenders. Yeah. So yeah, really nice. And the alt mode looks cool. He could use a bit more paint, I'd say, but kind of blend things out because it seems a little bland. But yeah, again, this is like with these product shots, they're not exactly gonna appear as they do when you get them in hand. I've learned that myself, and yeah, we've all learned that. And next up, we got Twin Cast. So this is the kind of sort of upgrade version. Yeah, upgrade version of Blaster, and yeah. So and that's probably one of my favorite Blaster. Or no, it is my favorite Blaster mold, but it's one of my favorite molds that came out originally in Kingdom, but it was like in the last wave, and it was re-released in the first wave of Legacy, but yeah, like I really like that mold and stuff, so it's kind of cool to get Twin Cast. I don't have Siege Sound Blaster. I kind of hope that they redeco the Netflix Sound Wave in the Sound Blaster, but if not, oh well. But I still want to get this guy because he looks nice, and I also like the mold, and also because he comes with a little rewind there, which is cool because that was also one of Blaster's cassettes, and the only one that for him that's been out for the current mold was Eject, and he came with Blaster, so yeah, it's kind of cool to get rewind there. I think I do have the Times. Yeah, I do have the Times Return one, but of course that won't fit in the current mold. And what's cool about this one, what's different is that he's actually kind of smiling a little bit, so that's nice. And then there's the alt mode. Yeah, this is definitely one of the few that's like, yeah, I gotta get this one. And finally, this is that fourth Prime Legacy figure that I discussed. This is Skyquake, Lear class, by the way. So this is the only Lear for Wave 2. And yeah, he looks really good. Definitely, this is definitely one of the few that I'm like, yeah, I got to get it. Like, along with, Twin Cast, Prowl, and Shrapnel. Like, and then, the Skycourse, yeah, looks really nice. The only complaint I have is that maybe his head looks a little too wide and his chest looks a bit flat. But besides that, it's Skyquake. It still looks like Skyquake. Like, man, and he's got his Gatling gun. I love that. It doesn't appear to rotate, but yeah. But still, I mean, yeah, he looks really good, and he's got the Energon sword and the alt mode. The alt mode, I'd say, is the better of the two modes because look at that. That's really a chunky plane there. But yeah, really nice, and yeah, and there's the packaging. Yeah, and then that artwork, of course, is sick. And of course, yeah, that's pretty much it. So yeah, that was a lot there. Legacy Evolution Wave 2 looking really good, even better than the first. And the first wave is already, pretty good. But this just looks, yeah, I can't wait. But hopefully we'll get more news. I think they did show off an image of like Armada Megatron during the stream, but they didn't reveal a figure, of course. But there are listings for it, so yeah. But we'll have to see about that. Yeah, that's pretty much it for that news. And for the last bit of news, it's from today actually. They revealed the Rise of the Beast Kids line. So this is like the gimmicky toys and stuff. Now some of these were already leaked, but a lot of these we haven't seen. So this is pretty nice to see. So yeah, let's get started. So starting off, we have Beast Mode Bumblebee. And it's kind of the tradition for these Transformers movie lines to have a big Bumblebee with a gimmick. So it appears like it turns to like a birthing, kind of where it looks like Air Razor. Like if you see in the chest there, it's like peeking out. He's got wings, and then this is in his regular mode, and then there's the alt mode. Looks kind of nice. I think I saw it's $54.99. It's about the price of a leader, so most likely won't get it. It's not really worth it, but for that price. But when I could be getting like a leader figure, like for example Scourge and Rise of the Beast. But yeah. So next up we got these little figures. I'm not sure what these are, but of course, Prime and B were like before. We got a little Prime here. He's got a sword, and then we got Rhinox, looking really nice. Probably my favorite of the three here. And then you got Bumblebee, and yeah. Then next up, well, we've seen the Primal before. Yeah, I think I did also cover that on my channel before. Yeah, but the Prime one here is new. So yeah, Primal comes with like a little animal that resembles Tigertron, but we haven't seen him in the trailer. But could he be in the movie? Possibly. Maybe we'll have to see. But yeah. But yeah, it's like a crossbow that appears, and then we got Prime, and he comes with like a blue wolf. And yeah, and it becomes like a chainsaw. So yeah. And then next, this is, I forget what they call this. This is like what they had in, I think, the second year of Cyberverse. They had like what was that? It's like what they used for like it was like Elite Class. Yeah, it was the Elite Class figures. They had it where it was like a submarine or a tank or something, and then they like folded onto the main robot. So it looks like they're bringing that back for Rise of the Beast. And I think I had the Prime one, and I think I still do have the Cheetor one. So interesting. So yeah, so you got Bumblebee here, and it's like looks like a purple tiger, I think, or a panther, and then it goes over him. And then next we got RC here with this like white kind of. I think that looks like a white panther right here. And yeah, they combine, and then there's RC. And oh yeah, there's the combined mode. Looks a little ridiculous, but the head on there is just RC with the visor. It's just really huge. So that's kind of funny. And then of course you got Primal here. And this one's probably my favorite of the three because it appears to be an alligator. And what's funny about this is that in Beast Wars, before Primal and Megatron were Gorilla and T-Rex, Primal was a bat, and then Megatron was an alligator. So that's funny how they have that in there, even though it's Primal's still a gorilla. But it's kind of funny throwback. And even kind of like the head kind of even reminds me of that. I mean, he's got yellow eyes instead of red, but still. And yeah, then there's Primal Road mode, and it's got all blue face. And yeah, then there's combined mode. Looks pretty stupid, but hey, looks kind of fun. And you got a little Cheetor here, it turns into a weapon, and then Rhinox turns into like a Gatling gun, which is kind of funny because that's how it was on the Beast Wars cartoon. They got an alligator here, and then it becomes a blaster, and yeah, that's pretty much it for that. And I think they reveal a few other stuff, but it's stuff that most of you guys have probably already seen, like the Primal and B mask, and then that Primal Smash Changer, which I've reviewed on my channel because they released it under the Cyberverse line, and I think a few other things, but it's not really as big as this. So yeah, so that's pretty much it for today's news. So yeah, so anyways, guys, make sure you guys like, subscribe, comment, share for more, and comment down below what you guys think of all this news. We got a lot here. Yeah, so anyways, guys, as always, till all are one.